Recently, my business principles completely changed. I was following one business principle that I was focusing everything around for the first year and a half in business, and now it's completely changed. I basically flipped it upside down, and I think this is the change for the better. I think what I was doing before is essentially just a mistake. And it's annoying because no one told me about this. No one told me about this. I watch a lot of YouTube content, I watch a lot of podcasts, and no one was talking about this. It's just so strange that I had to figure it out the hard way and I had to do this mistake myself. So maybe for some of the new people in business, you might find this helpful because, as I said, there's no information about this. And it's quite a simple rule when you think about it, and I'm surprised it took me so long to actually realise this in the first place. Now, you might think, who's this young guy? Who is he giving me advice? And yes, okay. My name is Ed, I'm 18 years old, I've been doing business for about a year and a half online. Now, I'm very fortunate I don't have to work a job, I just make money from my online business, which I do Etsy. Of course, I'm not trying to sell you an Etsy course. You can do whatever you want, I don't care about the business model. This YouTube channel is just to share my thoughts, it's like a diary for me. And let's get to the video. So what I'm talking about today is my business principle, which recently changed, and it is essentially around volume, because my previous business, principle was fully focused around volume. Everything I do was around volume. I just tried to get as much done in the day as possible. I just tried to do more and more and more and more. However, I think that's wrong, especially for the new entrepreneurs, because I'm going to use an example of an SMMA, right? So if you've got a social media marketing agency and your number one principle is just volume. You just want to get as much done. You want to outreach to as many potential clients as possible. You want to get in contact with as many people as possible. Now, I think that business principle is wrong because you're going to basically do a terrible job. Because if you have an SMMA and you're just sending a bunch of emails to clients, it's incredibly ineffective. Because first of all, you won't know what you're doing because you're new to the platform, you're new to the business that you're doing. So you won't know how to actually send good emails to people that they're going to reply to and they're going to want to work with you as a result of. So you're essentially chucking a load of volume into a really poor blueprint instead of working on the blueprint first and then focusing on the volume later. And that is what has changed in my head over the past 2 weeks. I had this realization where if I put my blueprint first ahead of volume, if I focus on improving the blueprint, over the course of maybe 3 years, I'll become incredibly effective instead of being slightly less effective over the course of a year. Now, you might think, okay, if you just chuck a load of volume in, no matter what, you're probably going to make more money over the course of a year, especially if you're doing an SMMA. However, if you put focus into the blueprint instead of blueprint, if you don't know what I mean, the blueprint is essentially the way you run your business. So the way you run your business, every small detail. So if you're doing an SMMA, it could be the email that you're sending out, improving your copy, that's working on the blueprint. It's just working on the business itself, for the business itself to become more effective without having to put a load of volume in. Now, that's what I mean with a blueprint. And if you focus on the blueprint first, if you actually focus on your business skills first, you focus on becoming better and more effective percentage-wise, instead of just chucking a load of volume in, it's like throwing shit at the wall and just hoping it sticks. Instead, throw, I don't know, glue at the wall and create better glue that is going to stick to the wall more often. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm trying to find the stickiest shit that I can throw at the wall so it sticks more often. Essentially, that's my principle. Instead of just throwing loads of diarrhea at the wall and some of it sticks every now and again. Maybe that's a good example. Maybe you clicked off the video because you feel sick. But that's what changed. So what am I doing to change in my business now? Now what I'm doing is I'm focusing a lot more on improving the small things. So with Etsy, there's a lot of things that come into it. So like product images, I want to make sure I have the best product images possible so I can basically make sure, okay, is it the product that's bad? Do people not like the product, or is it because my product images are bad? I'm basically trying to iron out every single thing possible to create a better blueprint. So literally everything comes into it. So everything on Etsy is just like pure around quality. So if you have a better quality description, if you have a better quality images, if you have a better quality title, more money comes in. So I'm just focusing now on trying to create better quality of everything rather than just throwing loads of volume at it. So I think this might hinder me over the short term. Now, I know this, I'm well aware of this, because if I just chucked a load of volume into something, more likely I'm going to be able to generate more money over a short period of time. However, this is really me focusing on becoming a master at my craft. I'm trying to become the best Etsy seller. I'm trying to become the best Etsy print on demand seller. Now, In order to do that, I have to focus on the blueprint, I have to focus on the actual business itself, rather than focusing on something which is just like 50-50 whether it works or not. If I can create something which works 80% of the time instead of 50% of the time, in 3 years, I'll be way ahead. I'll be way ahead. And now I don't want to waffle on too much, but I thought I'd just share this one business principle, and I think a lot of people should take some value from this, because remember, volume is going to help you, however, it's not going to be what makes you into a millionaire, most likely.